Macau worth visiting? Is it Portuguese? Is it Chinese? Let's go and see. Look at this map, let's answer the question. Is Macau worth visiting?
Another thing that makes Macau interesting is you always got these European things throughout as well, which kind of make it interesting. But you also have the Chinese things too, of course. So you got both. So we're at the very top. It's like incense, and I think this is the highest temple. And you also have the best views from up here as well. But yeah, this actually used to overlook the ocean. So this was actually like a military barracks. It kind of goes up and down like that. So you actually do have all the scenery like that. Yeah, there's actually a whole little world in here, and it's quite quiet too. It's like it's really quiet, and you can feel kind of more peacefulness. And Macau is filled with these. And again, lots of places to sit in this courtyard as well. So I think that was kind of the style of both the Portuguese and the people that made Macau home. Okay, so we're gonna do a video called "What Makes Macau Worth Visiting," and we're in this Bara area, so we're gonna be focusing specifically on Bara. It's also the Chinese New Year, so I'm gonna try to go down here and just kind of see what we can see for fireworks and such as well. 2024. Let's check out Macau. Come on. But yeah, this is called Bara. This whole area is called Bara. And the Moorish temple is one of the things that kind of makes it stand out. You can see the details of those windows as well. And we're just gonna head on down, and we're gonna go towards Amma Temple, which is just down the road, just slightly. So stay tuned for that. And it's also Chinese New Year, but we'll kind of try to capture a little bit of Macau and what makes it like worth visiting. So this is the name of the street, Calçada de Bara, and this whole area is called Bara. It's basically on the southern end of Macau. And another thing that makes Macau interesting is you always got these European things throughout as well, which kind of make it interesting. But you also have the Chinese things too, of course. So you got both. And then these are little shrines. So of course, all of those things make Macau interesting. And then also just a different kind of architectural building. So this one looks more like a colonial Portuguese style. And then also you can see the two lanterns right there as well. So those are kind of throughout this whole area. And what we're gonna do next is walk right into this big busy area, and you're gonna see more Macau tourism even on this street too. So more things that make Macau worth visiting. You got little coffee shops, like a little bit of a duck theme, and that's kind of interesting as well. Okay, then you also have all this tourism stuff over here too, because Bara does kind of encapsulate a little bit of Macau. So you have like Sapala ruins right here. Let's just kind of get into detail of that. And you'll also see some of these as well. Actually, they got some kind of different things in here. There's a ship as well, Portuguese ship. It's a pretty popular area. Then this is the Gia Lighthouse. And then basically these are basically for, oh, we got a Chinese New Year stuff, so I'm gonna move down. Calçada de Bara. We'll keep on going down. So they just did some fireworks here. We just missed it. There's these long. And they do have all these Chinese New Year celebration stuff all set up today. So they have everywhere. And I think some of them are maybe fireworks as well. Maybe others are incense for the temple. I'm not sure which is which, but I can hear little snappings of fireworks, of whippersnappers, they call them in English. Little lion dance things. We got a whole row of these. And today's a lot of tourists, so you'll see tour guides with the flags walking around. It's kind of a Chinese New Year. They have little hanfu dresses. Okay. Okay. And that's the temple up there. Bara. So today's a very active day for the temple. You see incense almost everywhere. Then you also hear all these little snappers. So the kids are throwing down the little small mini firecrackers things. We'll go in and see. Pretty busy today though. So I think here is where they're doing some firecracker things. So we're at the very top. It's like incense, and I think this is the highest temple. And you also have the best views from up here as well. So back at the base, one thing you're gonna see is like it looks like snow. Actually, those are just all the incense ashes. They're just floating through the sky. So especially throughout there. And we're going to meander around and kind of show you what else is around Bara as well. And we are going to go into little other parts of Bara. So you got stuff like Portuguese things here. So we got Superbach and Sangrish and Simo beverages from Portugal. So you do have a nice mix. So we're back on Casada de Bara. I'll just kind of get you some other ideas because I don't know what kind of viewers this might attract by having a different label like this. But there's all these these are little patios. I believe this is called a patio. But they're basically like little places for housing. And they're set up in a lane like that. So they're actually quite quiet. And they come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. Some of them are quite meandering. But this is actually kind of a simple one. But as you can see, it also comes out to another pedestrian street, which is this one. It goes down to Amo Temple. So people that live in this area, they're kind of off the streets. But we're going to be walking back up. So at the beginning, we saw the Moorish temple up there. We're going to walk down this way. And they also have all these signs set up for tourists too. There's a Bara Square, Mandarin's house, St. Norris's church. And we're actually going to be walking in that direction. So we might try to capture a little bit of some of those. But actually, one of the coolest things about Macau actually is there's a lot of these little plazas and little park benches, so you can sit in all kinds of random places that you wouldn't really be able to do in other cities. I want to show you this other little. This is called a beko, and I'm going to show you what it looks like too. And it's actually not too far. You can still hear the firecrackers from Amma Temple, but this is actually like another, almost like a patio as well. And I'm just going to come around here just so you can see how deep it goes in. And then we're going to turn around and you can get a sense of where we are. Oh, this one actually goes in kind of deep, but that starts out kind of where we were just at a little bit ago. But basically what happens in here is it's quiet. So you're in a city, but you also have all this quietness. So what I'm gonna do is bring the camera to the end, and then they're gonna pop back out to the front. Even have these green guardrails up there, up on that side. And let's just see what's around here. It looks like we're gonna get a gate, but there's a little bit of a basketball court thing. And then there's a gate because it actually leads up into more stuff. So we can't really see where it goes exactly, but I can kind of tell you because this is the backside of the Bara of the Moorish temple. We're gonna highlight that in a second, but yeah, so you never know what's in these little corners, do you? So, okay, another reason why what makes Macau worth visiting. So that's where I was just sitting just about 2 minutes ago, and this is a little beko, so it actually has its own name. There it is right there. So everything in Macau is in Portuguese and in Chinese. Those are the two official languages. And that just kind of gives you the context of how things are set up. And then that's Moorish temple again. We'll get closer so you can see it. Oh, let me go up here first. There's always more kind of interesting stuff in Macau. So this just kind of gives you these interesting views from this patio. And I think they look very Portuguese style-ish as well. But that apartment over there is really, really brand new. So that's one of the things that you're gonna see a lot in Macau. You got older style apartments, but then you also have newer style, and they kind of mix in. So this is very, very new. They're still doing the construction of it to get it all set up as well. And in a moment, we're gonna be right next to where we started, and then I'm gonna go down further so you get a better context of everything. So that's the Moorish temple. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to go up here and go up on the other side because it is kind of beautiful. You have all these. Let me give you a little bit of history about this Moorish temple. There'll be a sign later, but this one was housed. This used to overlook the ocean. I'm still kind of brushing off the ashes from Amma Temple. But yeah, this actually used to overlook the ocean. So this was actually like a military barracks. So it'd actually be people that would be able to watch and see if there's any kind of invader, any kind of situation that's coming into affect the city of Macau. So it's actually quite old, and it has like a Moorish design to it too, right? And Macau had the Portuguese influences, which is on the Iberian Peninsula, which had the Muslim and Moorish, and then they also went to Goa and other places throughout their travels. So it wouldn't be completely unheard of to have some influences of this kind once in a while as well. This right here says we can go up to the Penha Hill. We can climb these stairs up to Penha Hill. Looks like we are getting the views already. But basically, because Macau is an island, it kind of goes up and down like that. So you actually do have all the scenery like that. Oh yeah. This is actually not as comfortable because you can see the way that it's set up. But I don't know, maybe there's supposed to be a flat bench on here as well. Anyways, we're gonna go up to Penha Hill and show you around a little bit more. And we're just gonna go right up these steps and go up to Penha Hill. And there's Penha Church up at the top. Then we have this little thing called Miradora do Penha. So it says like viewpoint. And they sell books and items here. But the main thing is the view from up here. So we're going to be able to see all the different sides of this area. I think the view would be better over there. So this is one of the lookout areas of the Miradora de Penha. And you have this kind of round space. But then when you come over here, you can see this whole side. So we're looking down on Bara, basically. And then you can also see some ships in all throughout here. Between here and over there is Zhuhai and Hengqin, China, mainland China. So that's on the other side of that. It looks like a river, but it's actually part of the waterways of the ocean, I believe. I don't know what they technically call that, but and then you can kind of see all this kind of low lying here, and then it builds up over there a little bit. But what we're going to do next is we're going to go over to the other side of this hill. We're on Penha Hill, and then on the other side, you'll see the views from the other way. And I can see a little bit of Macau Tower already. So we're gonna get closer to that. So that's Penha Church, and then this is the Miradora. They're both good to see, but this is the other view from the other side. So I'm gonna go down here and give you the view. Get over here, the fireworks, the distance, because it is Chinese New Year, February 2024. And this has some nice little fountains too, right? So you also have that feeling of Europe as well. Then we are gonna go to this view. Somebody already has a camera set up for it. But now you can see over there is Taipa. That's also part of Macau. So that's this kind of island description, right? So you can actually see some hills over there too. There's hiking trails over there. Another hill right there, right in front. There's more behind because there's in the distance you can see. Well, I can see them through the naked eye. I don't know if you can see it through the camera lens, but I can see some casinos, and that's part of Cotai. And then behind that is another island called Kolowan, and that has a lot of hiking trails and some beaches too. But today we're just gonna focus on this space here. It's kind of Bara and Penha area. There you go. There's some better views because you have the fountain right there, and you have the Macau Tower right there too. We're gonna show you the view at this lookout over here. Just come over here too, and you can see some casinos here too. These are the Macau side casinos. There's Wynn Casino, Grand Lisboa, MGM is in there, Treasure Island. But then there's other casinos on the other side as well. There's some really good views of the Macau Tower as well. Okay, and there's the Penha Church. So actually, that's one of many, many. There's a lot of churches from that Portugal brought here, and there's actually a little grotto in there. So I'm gonna go down and check that out too. But yeah, some really nice. There's some more Chinese New Year fireworks. Nice mix of China and Portugal in Macau. So I'm gonna come down here, and then we're gonna address the question: is Macau worth visiting? Since that's what you probably came to view and see, and I'll try to answer that question right in front of the grotto. Mother Mary, and as a Catholic myself, so what I would like to do, you can take a look at this grotto right here. I think I can't really sit in the sun and do this, but I do want to capture this. I'm going to catch this little. Feels like something out of Europe. That tower in the background there. Beautiful banyan trees. These are another thing that I think makes Macau worth visiting is just the types of trees here. They're a lot larger and they have these beautiful root systems as well. And the climate is kind of ideal for those. But you also have this kind of like interesting stuff that you just don't expect, like these little mix of Chinese and kind of Catholic stuff together, right? And they intermingle quite easily. Okay, so I'm going to try to attempt to answer the question: is Macau worth visiting? And I would say it definitely is. There's a lot of Chinese things. So we saw Alma Temple, but we also saw all the Portuguese stuff like Penha Hill. There's these beautiful churches like that, but there's also a mix of like beautiful Chinese things too. So you basically have two cultures that intermix. That's the way I see it. So, anyways, I would definitely say Macau is 100% worth visiting, and you should probably come here too. So, all right. So, ciao for now, and let me make some comments below so I kind of have an idea. That's those fireworks. Chinese New Year today. Going back down the hill, and I just kind of saw some interesting stuff. I might see a few more interesting things as well, so we might add that on a little bit. These are kind of Portuguese style right here as well. Okay. I just came back down the hill, and then we also have the Moorish temple, so built in 1874 by Italian architect. A reminder of the close links to Goa. This is kind of the structure, Islamic architecture influences, protect the inner harbor, big veranda. Okay. And then you also have some other Portuguese things here. So you have lots of stuff like this in Macau, a Portuguese ship. And we're just gonna. So this is, I think we're on Rua de Bara, which is Bara Street. And you can basically see there's lots of spots to park for mopeds, motorcycles as well. So those are quite common. And it kind of gives you another little sense, just to give you a little bit more fuller feeling of the streets. You got some of the Chinese New Year. And then you also have some stuff like this. This looks like kind of a Mary reference with a baby child and a lamb. But it's also written in Chinese as well. A lot of the Macanese are actually, many can be Catholic as well as Buddhist. And then some of these streets, like this one, I think goes up towards Penha Hill, be right up that way. Yeah, we are. So this is Bara Street. So that actually goes down to Moorish temples, Amma Temple. And then you have these little patios like this too. I'm just gonna walk in real quick because these patios are quite special and unique. We're gonna go all the way down and see what that building is to the. Oh, I got yoga and Pilates here. Oh, didn't know that. Yoga trapeze. And you got something called Chi right here too. I think that's a salon, I think. Oh, jewelry. So a lot of times these little patios, you kind of have all kinds of interesting stuff that you don't always expect. So yeah, a little taste. There's another patio directly ahead on Rio Campo as well. This is kind of cool too. Sainter and Mary Tattoo Company. Really beautiful door. Like maybe a barber shop and tattoo. And right here is the Mandarin house. So we're gonna be walking by the Mandarin house. There's also these little shrines like that too. So and you also have a nice mix of people. So you have I'm gonna go a little bit further down and we'll show you what the Mandarin house looks like. But this is a kind of a narrow little road right in here, which is actually cars go through here and so do people. So it's interesting just the way that it's set up. Oh, and more little patios. I think because I want to highlight the patios in this one, we're gonna also just go down there briefly and just kind of show you there's other cool stuff in these patios, right? So that was the other thing. The other thing that I think makes Macau worth visiting is these patios, because there's actually a whole little world in here, and it's quite quiet too. It's really quiet, and you can feel kind of more peacefulness. And Macau is filled with these. So we're gonna walk back out to the Mandarin house, and then the Mandarin house is straight ahead, and we're on the Bara. So we're kind of doing a Bara and Penha, but we might as well include a little taste of this as well. Did I mention how many places there are just to kind of sit back and just kind of relax? So this is another typical spot. There's like 3 benches in here, nice little plaza. So you got like these patios and the plazas, and that's kind of what I think makes Macau like something that people don't think about, but also makes it really worth visiting as well. So okay, let's go see the Mandarin House. This is Mandarin House to the side, but I'm also just kind of giving you a little bit of historical Macau through this Lilau fountain area. And the fountain is actually covered up today. It looks like they have some events. I think they have the lion dancing and Chinese New Year things today. So it's not, there's a little kiosk. And again, more places to sit and just kind of relax. And this would also go up to Penha Hill again. We're on the southern tip. And that's actually worth visiting as well. And this is called the Lilau Square. Lilau, Largo do Lilau. And we're just going to go to the Mandarin temple, Mandarin house, which is straight ahead. And again, you have all these beautiful architectural buildings too, like this style right here. And then it's right next to the Mandarin house. So yeah, just a little bit. Now you're kind of getting into a taste. We're just north slightly of Penha Hill. And then this is the Mandarin house. So I think we're gonna continue to do our mix. The orange tangerines are because of the Chinese New Year, so that's and then we're briefly gonna just walk into this one real quickly. So Mandarin's house, traced back to 1869, Chinese literary figure, and then this basically is his house right here near Bara. So we're gonna go in and take a look. So, okay. So again, this is this mix of two different cultures, and this is the Mandarin house of a Chinese literary figure, and this would have been his courtyard. And again, lots of places to sit in this courtyard as well. So I think that was kind of the style of both the Portuguese and the people that made Macau home, including all of the Chinese businessmen and elite. Also, Hotong Library is another one that's another example of that. So there's quite a few examples of these beautiful courtyards inside the homes. Kind of like this. Okay, there's more of the courtyard and then so anyways, just a little taste for you guys just to see there's more to explore down that way and more another courtyard over this way too. And it's all part of the Mandarin house. Yeah, nice spaces. Let's see if we can go into one of these. Maybe this one. Oh yeah, this is a perfect one to go into. Yeah, this is a nice courtyard. Beautiful windows, nice. So anyways, I guess I should end the video. Okay, so we're actually going to really end this now. There's the Penha church right up there, the steeple. But then you can also see these little murals of Portuguese ships right there. The sun might make it hard to see. That's the Macau emblem right there. That's the Sao Paulo, or Sao Domingos. Sao Paulo? Sao Domingos. It's like Sao Paulo, I guess. Portuguese ships right there. Macau emblem. And the Sao Paulo church again right there too. So you kind of got some cool stuff. And then you have another one right here. So there's another Portuguese ship with a little bit of firecracker and stuff as well. So okay, so now we're gonna really end this one. So that's the video for today, and we're kind of moving up to the next street, but we're still on the Bara. We were on what was Bara, but now it's called Rua Padre Antonio. So there's a lot of street names that are named after saints as well. So again, that's kind of that mix of Portuguese and Chinese. Let's end it right there. 2024. Let's check out Macau. Come on.